So wow, this is the same setting as my Emirates video, but now it's time for Qatar. I'm just going to do a little intro here. If you did not see my full intro video and my full Emirates reviews, make sure to check those out in a little card up here so you can have more information about how this Economy Week series works. But other than that, let's just roll straight into the second episode of my first Economy Week, Emirates versus Etihad versus Qatar. So, on Qatar Airways, I was supposed to fly their 777-300 and their A330-300. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for Qatar, their flight from Doha to Beirut was so full that they had to substitute that with another 777-300. So in the end, I only got to sample one aircraft type, though I still got to take 2 flights. Hopefully this review will be helpful, as Qatar have dozens of more 777s on order, and this is a product you'll be experiencing when you fly on one. I arrived in Mumbai from Chennai on Jet Airways. The arrival process was surprisingly smooth, but unfortunately I didn't have the same experience at check-in. Even though I have premier access on oneworld, the check-in agents were quite unpleasant, and they were the only ones to enforce the one carry-on bag policy that Qatar and the 2 other major Middle Eastern carriers have. Having flown around with the same carry-on bags on multiple airlines around the world, Qatar is the only airline who actually wouldn't let me bring them on board. It's time for part 2, because we're about to board our first Qatar Airways flight. This one going to Doha and then continuing on to Cairo. So come with me to see how Qatar Airways economy is and how does it fare against Emirates on their 777. This should be a lot of fun. We're on the oneworld livery aircraft, so hope you enjoy it. Some of my best business class flights in my life have been on Qatar, so I was super curious to see how their economy would compare. I was greeted by the door by 2 very friendly crew members who were equally as helpful as on Emirates. They were guiding people to their seats, helping lift bags, etc. The legroom on Qatar was actually quite good, and even though there was a 343 configuration, I didn't feel too squeezed in. The seat also had a very strong adjustable headrest. The music you're hearing right now is Qatar's famous boarding music, and in my opinion is just the most beautiful, classy boarding music in the world. Right here, as you can see, was the recline on the seat, which was also quite good. The seat layout is quite similar to on Emirates, with a USB port, an ejectable remote control, and the foldable tray table. Waiting at the seat was also a pair of sturdy headphones, a pillow, but no blanket, even though this was technically an overnight flight. I made a small interesting observation on Qatar, which is that the English safety video plays before the Arabic safety video, which isn't the case on all these carriers. As you can see, Qatar have fitted their 777s with beautiful mood lighting and shading video monitors. This means that you can't see what's being played on the screen of those sitting next to you and in front of you. The meal was served straight after our 4:40 a.m. departure, which I again found a little strange, and I wonder why they wouldn't serve it before landing instead. In any case, the meal was decent. My favorite part was the Tropicana juice, and I think that's quite a nice investment in economy class. Qatar also had metal cutlery, but overall the meal was about average. Here's a look at the menu. Qatar also hand out paper menus, which is a really nice touch. For the rest of the flight, I slept pretty much the whole way and I got quite a good night's sleep, though unfortunately the crew started the arrival preparations 40 minutes before arrival, which again woke everyone up and put our seats in the upright position, which is just way too early to start those preparations in my opinion. now for one of the highlights of my trip on Qatar. Doha Hamad Airport is truly the most beautiful airport in the world, in my opinion. It opened just a few years ago, and you can tell that the facilities are brand new. The design is stunning, and any time of day, regardless of how many passengers, I'm just in awe of what they managed to achieve with this facility. The great thing about Hamad Airport is that all the flights leave from the same terminal, so you don't have to take any buses or go very far, and most passenger areas are condensed on a smaller surface. There's plenty of great restaurants and stores, all with a modern decor, and overall it's really pleasant spending a few hours here. As you can see, they have public computers, you can buy lounge access, and much more. They even have a modern train that goes in the same terminal to transport you more quickly to some gates. I think it's quite common for Qatar to give their Middle Eastern destinations bus gates, which is fine in most cases, except that it was summer in Doha and temperatures were around 50 degrees Celsius, so it really was not so fun to take a bus out to the aircraft and stand and wait to board in the scorching heat. Again, I was greeted on board by a very friendly and professional crew. Hi.
Hello, welcome.
As you can see, different row sections have different colors on the seats. I love the color scheme that Qatar Airways has on their livery and in their aircraft. Boarding took quite long since we were boarding such a large plane with buses. But here's another look at the adjustable headrest, which again was very sturdy and comfortable. Before I knew it, we were on our way to Beirut with an on-time departure. In case you're wondering, this flight was impacted by the Qatar crisis, and we had to take quite a long route up over Iran and then over Turkey before going down to Beirut. Qatar's RX-1 entertainment system is also one of the best in the world. I don't want to draw too many comparisons yet, but just know that you will definitely be entertained regardless of how long the flight is, and they do keep entire seasons of various shows. I was curious since it seemed a few things on my last meal actually didn't match the vegetarian meal that I ordered, and on this flight again they actually served me the wrong meal, so I had to pinpoint to the crew that I had ordered a special meal, and eventually they first seemed quite confused, but then they got my meal from the back. It's also worth noting that there is no Wi-Fi on Qatar's 777s, which is a major drawback if you want to work and stay connected, especially during a very long flight. One thing I did appreciate about Qatar, however, is that they do not collect the headphones and pillows before landing. This means you can at least continue using them until you've arrived, although they do prepare the cabin early for arrival in the sense that they make you return your tray table and seat to the upright and locked positions.
تم قاعدتكم مع إبقاء الهاتفون قبل مغادرة الطائرة، كما يجرى أنه يمنع التدخين إلا في الأماكن المخصصة لذلك في المطار.
So, how were my flights with Qatar? Well, I'd say that overall they were extremely smooth and easy. Transferring Doha is one of the best connecting flight experiences you can possibly have. The flight crews are trained to perfection. They do an amazing job and they make you feel welcome on Qatar. The seats are great, good legroom, nice recline, and the cabin overall has a very classy and cool ambiance. The meals were okay, though not amazing, and I'm a little disappointed that they didn't have Wi-Fi, but overall I'd definitely fly Qatar's 777 again. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, comment below what you thought, and I always appreciate when you subscribe. If you do, you'll be able to see my Etihad review soon, and of course the conclusion of which airline is better, Emirates, Etihad, or Qatar. That is coming soon. And until I see you all for the next video, fly safe.